All right, guys, as promised, a couple more problems. That's why we're starting with number 3. We already have a couple of kind of quote-unquote easier ones. A video of 2 easier ones, and then these are 2 harder ones where we solve by completing a square. So let's just jump right in. This first one, I guess number 3, we have 4x squared minus 8x plus 100 equals 0. A couple things we need to do first is it's all divisible by 4. We can divide everything by 4, including the 0. That's why it's an okay math move, is because we're doing it to both sides of our equal sign. So let's do that. And what does this give us? It gives us x squared minus 2x plus 25 equals 0. Okay, next thing, like I said, we have 2 things. The second thing is we need to move our c term over so we can actually do the completing the square. And when I do that, that gives me x squared minus 2x. I'm going to leave a little space for that next part, but equals, subtract 25 minus 25. All right. So that next part, like I mentioned, we need to take half of our b term. Right now, b term is negative 2. So divide it by 2 to get half and square it. Well, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1, adding 1 to both sides. Okay, it doesn't look too scary right now, but let's see what happens. We get x squared minus 2x. You know what? I'm just going to jump right to that next step. Let's go here where this is going to be my binomial squared. So how about I write it like a binomial squared, which is going to be x minus 1. Okay. On the other side, just negative 24. There we go. I'll take the square root of both sides. So nothing too terrible yet, except that doesn't look good. Okay, gotta fix that. So first off though, the square root and the square cancel, leaving me with just x minus 1 on the left side. On the right side, as mentioned, I do need to take out an I, as well as 24. Well, the square root, so let me do a little side work up here. Square root of 24 is the same thing as the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. Okay, and the square root of 4, of course, is 2. So this is 2 square roots of 6. So we're going to take out, you know what? Ugh, erasing everything today. Let's take out a 2i instead of I2. So 2i square roots of 6. And whenever you take the square root, you do need a plus or minus. All right, then the last step is we just have to add 1 to both sides. When I do that, I get x equals 1 plus or minus 2i square roots of 6. All right, and we're going to leave it like that. I like to, whenever I have an I, just leave it with the plus or minus as just kind of one part. I know it's 2 answers, but I like to leave it just as that one part. All right, going on to the second one now. The second one says 4x squared minus 12x plus 54 equals 5. Okay, let's start maybe on this one. I'm going to move this over so those are both together. Let's start that way. Doesn't really matter, but let's go 4x squared minus 12x. If I subtract 54 on both sides, 5 minus 54 is negative 49. Sorry, 5 minus 54. Yeah, I don't know why I was questioning myself there, but negative 49. Okay, same thing. Now, one thing we can't just jump into right here, I can't just start taking half of the b term because the a term is not a 1. We need that leading coefficient of the a to be a 1, which means I need to divide everything by 4. All right, that's where I'm going to have x squared minus 3x, leave a space. Then I just am going to leave this as negative 49 fourths, just as a fraction. I'm not going to make it a decimal or a mixed number or anything like that. Just leave it as a fraction. Now I can take half of my b term, which is negative 3 divided by 2, square that. Again, leave this as a fraction, right? That's going to be 9. I'm going to add 9 over 4 to both sides. You can probably see why I wanted to leave that as a fraction earlier. So I already have common denominators. All right, my binomial squared on the left side, we're going to have an x, and then remember it's half this b term that's going to go in the second term of that binomial squared, minus 3/2. Just getting that from right here. Okay, on the other side, we have to do a little bit of math. Negative 49 plus 9 is negative 40 divided by 4. Okay, and you can make that just negative 10 if you want. In fact, let's do that. again, erase some more stuff. Make it a negative 10. There we go. Okay, take the square root of both sides. And what does this do for me? This cancels my square and square root, leave me with just x minus 3 over 2. And then when I take the square root of a negative 10, a couple things happen. First off, it's going to be plus or minus whatever it is. And then the second thing is we need this negative to come out as an I. If you think about 10, the factors are just 2 and 5, so nothing will split or pair up to become out. So it's going to just stay square root of 10. Add 3 halves to both sides, plus 3 halves. And my answer then is going to be x equals, those cancel, 3 halves plus or minus I square roots of 10. Just like that.